What's going on, EDC people, and what's our journey today? The CIVIVI Riffle. That's right, I got the CIVIVI Riffle in hand. I saw it in action on, I think it was Jersey Knife Guy's channel, and it was just something I had to have. This is like he was showing, without any lubrication or adjustment to the pivots. This is just how it came out of the box. I have been playing with it, of course, but take a look at how it look at the action right out of the box. You have the flipper tab, excuse me, and this long hole to do the Spidey flick. You can try to do the thumb, but it is hard. It's easier to just do a rollout with the thumb. But with this, I either use the flipper tab or the Spidey flick, basically. And then look at that edge. I mean, they came with absolutely a screaming sharp edge on 14C28N steel. And while we're talking about that, why don't we just pull out our ruler and take some measurements. Depending on where you measure from, the blade is about 3.5 inches and the handle is about 4.5 inches. Yeah, depending on where you measure from. This knife has no forward choil on it. However, it does have this little turn down here at the end of the handle, and it gives you a neutral grip, meaning there's no like finger slots or anything, and it hugs your hand brilliantly. The jimping is in just the right place. Excuse me, guys. Just chugged a seltzer water and I'm having trouble here. The handle is made out of micarta, and it's nice micarta. It feels good. Access to the lock bar is good. Deep carry pocket clip with flathead screws. Ambidextrous carry, not inset into the scale, because when you have ambidextrous carry and you inset it, that means that it has to be inset on this side too. And I don't want the display side to have that big gaping canyon in it or a cover on it. I much prefer to have just that little extra hole there, and then have it not be set into the scale on this side. Although, if it were to be permanently right hand carry, set in would be my preference. And when I say set in, I mean that portion of this portion right here that the ruler is touching of the pocket clip, would be milled into the scale so that it wouldn't be on top of the scale. It just gives it a cleaner look, and it's even that much smoother in and out of pocket. However, like I was saying, if you do that and you make it ambidextrous, then you have to have it on this side, and then oftentimes they put a cover on it, and it makes all the aesthetics go away, all the positive aesthetics go away, and all your eyes are drawn towards that section there. Alright, let's get rid of the EDC Journey sticker so I can take a closer look without the focus struggling here. It does have internal, external stop pins you see on each side. The silver bar here, or whatever, here and there, that's on the blade itself, moving back and forth right now. They are on, see that track right there? I wish I had something better to point with. Let me see here. And I don't really have anything good. I'll try to use the ruler. You can see that track kind of right there, right? And the opposite side has the same thing right there. That is what stops the blade. Those two pins go click, and then the liner lock engages, and we have full blade lockup. No blade play, no lock rock. It also, having them on both sides like that, increases the lockup or chances of play side to side go away. It's much stronger. Civivi basically has come into the market and taken it by storm. You know, from the backlash to the Elementum to and all things in between, all variants of each thing is a successful model. Their steel is quality. They do a great heat treat process. Their 14C28N, like this blade here, is really quite good, as shown, as proven by many. But I am close with Jared and Kara at Neve's Knives, and he's quite the sharpener. I try to be like him, but not quite. He takes the cake when it comes to sharpening. And when he says that he can tell that the heat treat is right because of the way it feels on the stone, he's absolutely right. You can. And once again, Civivi's done it. Yet another knife that's reasonably priced that just blows other ones out of the water. It's made in China, and I think that's the biggest negative it has going for it, is that term, because people associate made in China with junk. And I think in the knife community, we've in some ways moved past that. Look at things like Riot, okay, even Tucson in some instances, amongst others. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and of course right now I'm not thinking of any, but of course there's other ones. We in Civivi are good knives, and for the price, you really can't go wrong. Look at the action you get out of this. If you're a fidget person, if you like that kind of stuff, this is good for it. Even if you're not and you just need a knife, how much more basic can you get? It's got a nice kind of continuous looking belly, great for slicing, comes down to an extremely fine edge, or behind the edge thickness. It is sharp. It is extremely sharp. Some people could take or leave the hole, because stuff's gonna get in it. Yeah, it's gonna. If you're gonna cut, everyone says something like cheese or something like that. Of course it's gonna get in it, so you're gonna have to clean it out. But it's there, and it's there because it's awesome to manipulate with. It really is. Having that hole there gives you an easy place to put your thumb, or to put your finger to flick it out. And once you get it out past the detent, whether you're using the flipper tab or not, it just rockets right out on its ceramic bearings. And taking a look at that flipper tab, look how nice and minimalized it is. It's little, it's squared off, and no matter how you do it, whether you do push button, light switch, kind of soft. I mean, it's not easy to fail on this guy. It's got such a well-tuned detent. It just sucks right in. And it stays there. And so to break that detent, that blade rockets right out. In addition to all that, as I've said, the micarta handle, you have different variants you can get, and I'm sure there might be more to come, depending on how successful it is. This knife comes out at a time when several other knives, even from Civivi itself, are coming out, such as the button lock Elementum. We are in April of 2021. Towards the end of this month, the button lock Elementum is released. I do have a video up on it already. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I will put a link in the video towards the end for you to click on if you haven't seen it yet. Civivi might be putting out too many good knives too fast. Actually, they might be overshadowing themselves. But don't let that don't let the number of knives that they're releasing or the quality of knives that they're releasing um, blind you from other models out there. In other words, what I'm trying to say is there's going to be a lot of hype over the button lock Elementum, the fixed blade Elementum, the keen natter, the whatever the other one is, the brazen, they're coming out with hit after hit after hit after hit, and this is one of them. And a lot of people are kind of deciding between those. They're looking at those models specifically together, comparing and deciding to which one they want to buy. Well, I can tell you they're all pretty good. Uh, but the Riffle is something special. It just something about the way that the action goes, the blade shape, the handle, neutral handle, the way it hugs my hand, the jimping. I think they just really hit it out of the park with this one again. The stop pins, they never cease to kind of amaze me with how they manage to do so much and provide so much for so little. And and I'm not saying it's a trivial amount of money. It's like $50-$60, but for what you're getting, there are other companies who aren't doing things like those stop pins, which are definitely an upgrade over a regular one pin system or a one rod system. And so there's a it's just an amazing piece, guys. Deep carry clips. Other companies are just sticking button top screws in. Why? Civivi seems to be getting the message of what we want and producing it for us in a fashion that we want, and that's amazing. They're coming out with hit after hit, and you can't go wrong with them. This is just one of them, guys. It's the Riffle again, I'll tell you. And again, this is out of the box. This is under the camera. That's why I have to wiggle it so much. Otherwise, it would be even more drop shutty than it is. And if I put a little bit of KPL or oil on that pivot, I'm telling you, I guarantee you it would be almost nearly fully drop shut, if not. Okay? Tell me that's not a nice looking knife. It doesn't. I mean, it looks like it's moving just sitting there. I feel like it looks like it wants to slice. It's ready to slice up some cardboard. It's ready to go. You can, I hope, tell that just based off the geometry alone that this blade is slicey. And I'm making very slow, deliberate cuts here because I don't want to go through and hit my little backdrop, and I also don't want to hit my phone. So, for whatever that does for you, the finish on it shows nearly no lines or marks of after use, nor fingerprints. I love that finish. I really do. Sharpening choil included. The plunge on it is just right for sharpening as well. It's just done right. It's just a well done. You're gonna have a thicker amount of steel right here at the bottom of this big hole than you would here. In other words, you have a longer taper here, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. Let's take a look at the weight. In ounces, 3.4 ounces. It is, I would say, pretty much average, if not on the lightweight end of things. and we already did the lengths. So, what do you guys think of Civivi, guys? What are other companies thinking of this? What are U.S. companies thinking of Civivi when their prices are higher because of wages and things like that? I get some of the thing, but we in Civivi work with a lot of American designers and a ton of American retailers. So it's not like this country isn't making any money off of the brand. But brands that are exclusively made in the United States have extremely high price points oftentimes, especially when it comes to nice designs and premium materials like this. So it's time for some companies to step out of the old practices and start innovating. How are we going to keep up if we're going to compete with companies like we and Civivi, specifically Civivi, where the price point is right for a good number of people? For a lot of people who, this knife, if this were on the shelf at the store versus that a stupid Gerber or something that barely functions, it would be nearly the same price, and they would walk away 100 times happier with this. So it's time for a little bit of changing to happen here, I think. I can't wait for Civivi to try dipping their hand in maybe some traditional patterns. Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be interesting? To get a Civivi Barlow, a Civivi Sodbuster, or a Stockman or something. We'll see where things go, but hey, this knife happens to be mine, so I will do eventually a long-term update on it, but I really like it. It's really good, and if you're looking for a solid knife in this price range, if you like the way this looks, you can't go wrong. Multiple forms of deployment, awesome design. Let's keep this short and sweet. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you like it, you should get it. Once again, Civivi knocks it out of the park. Thanks for tuning in to EDC Journeys for my look at the Civivi Riffle. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you like my content. Have a great day.